What's up, YouTube? Thanks for tuning in again. Welcome back. So, today I thought I'd do something a little bit differently. I'm just going to turn the camera on while I sit here, catalog some cards, do some things, put cards in cases, maybe my binder that I got, and just do a little bit of rambling, whatever's on my mind, and see how it goes. It may last 4 minutes, it may last 20 minutes, who knows? Well, I mean, you guys know because you can see how long this video is. But anyway, thought I would do that and just like I said, just chat. Almost like a DJ, right? Almost like a DJ, just talking to an audience that I can't see, which is I guess what we do any day with any video. But in this case, I don't know if I'll show any cards or not. I might. I got some cards here that I'm cataloging. But so I may show some cards, but other than that, it's just some random thoughts that I have in my head for the most part. So, first thing I want to talk about is if you watch my two videos that I did on my December haul video one and December haul video two, you'll notice that the video is a mirror image of what it should be. In other words, my bookcase and my records are all on the opposite side of me. And I didn't really realize that until I posted the videos. And after that, I was like, I'm not going to worry about it. But apparently my software that I use Clipchamp. I always want to call it MailChimp, but that's not it. Clipchamp. And I guess they got an update or something, and now the default is that mirrored image. It's not the image that we're working with right here, or I did on my very last video, the player profile for George Hendrick. So anyway, so I was a little bit aggravated about that, but I don't really deal with it. A couple of you commented, and so appreciate at least two of you paying enough attention to notice that and point it out to me, and appreciate the others who noticed it and cut me some slack. So but anyway, so now I got to remember now just to change this camera setting to mirror, so on every video. So I don't know what happened, but it did. And I kind of looked around in the Clipchamp settings to see if I could set a default, but I couldn't do that, or I didn't find it. So maybe I will at some point here. So anywho, so hopefully if I'm on top of things, we won't see that happening again. So yeah, anyway, I got this new case. I got that card I showed you guys on one of those videos. My wife got that card, that Yachty card. I forget what it's called. The MLB Independence Day USA flag. I got that card last show. My wife did, at least. And the case I had for it, I think, is too big for it. It's a 150 point case, but I think it needs a 130 point case. So I picked up a 130 point case. I'm going to see if that fits better in this 130 point case. So anyway, how you guys doing today? All right. So good. It's today's Saturday, December 13th. So been out all day. Look at that. What's that? This is a BCW case, and I've never bought a BCW case before. So I don't know. Give me 1 second here. I usually use the one touches, but there's a scuff mark on the case, and you saw I just opened the damn thing up. There's a scuff mark on it. Okay, see that scuff mark there? Yeah, there you go. Well, on the front too. Oh, that's a fingerprint on the front. That's me. That scuff mark isn't. fingerprint is. Maybe not. That's not me either. This is a. All right. Well, I'm not very happy with my BCW here, but that's not me. I thought it was like my fingerprint, but it's not. Try very hard. I know you guys do too. Try very hard not to get your fingerprints and whatnot all over the cases. But anywho, I put my one touches in these team bags. I find that they work very, very well for them. So take this one out, stick it in there, and see what I get. See what kind of magic can happen. This is just a cool card. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, let's see here. Oh, perfect. That's going to be perfect. Except for the scuff marks. Yeah, that's better. Feel a little rattling, but not much you can do about that. But definitely does fit nicer in the 130 point sleeve than 155. So here we go. So now what I do is I'll take this unused one. Oh, I forgot. Hang on one second. I lied. I said I use team bags. I use these one-touch bags. But I use the team bags for my top loaders. But what I do on these cases that are still good, because I put everything in brand new cases, brand new top loaders, brand new penny sleeves. I don't reuse any of that stuff, even though some of it looks pretty good. But when I get to a point where I know it's mine, right? Like this one here was brand new. I just needed to take it out. I know it's mine. What I do is I write on the bottom of it. Yeah, you can't really see that, but whatever. I write on the bottom of it in Sharpie the point size. That way, when I go to reuse it, I know what size it is. And I put it in a one-touch sleeve, of course. That way it's ready to go. And I just try to preserve it. I mean, these aren't expensive cards, but I try to do what I can to make them nice and put them in these one-touch bags. Like I said, I put my top loaders in. Like here, my top loaders, and you've seen that in team bags, just to help it out. These things are so. Roll that over nice and neat. Bam. So that is that. So good call on that one. Went to my local card shop today, got that. My local card shop's not too bad. It's not great, but I go there for supplies, try to support them in that fashion. But the cards they got, I mean, they're okay. They're not terrible, but they're not great either. A lot of times, they're off-centered or a little bit rough, a little bit on the pricey side. But I don't really worry too much about that either, simply because he's got to make a dollar, and I try to support the LCS as much as I can. So, all right, so got that in his proper case. So I'm excited about that. So I got me another binder today. Like I said, my cards over here are the sets and the collections I have in these binders over here, getting a little bit too full for those binders there. So I got me another binder today, and I think that I'm going to put my sets in there. So I got my 61 Golden Press set over there, and I'm going to put my 53 Red Man in the same binder as the 61 Golden Press set, just to kind of keep that stuff together. So So anyway, got me a new binder today. I'm gonna start packing that here once I can get some cards and probably distribute some of those other cards out of those binders over there. So um, that'll be down the road also. Um, all right. So like I said, so I'm going through this. This is probably the definition of insanity, if anything else is. So uh, I use spreadsheets typically to catalog my cards, create my lists of cards that I have, cards that I need. Works out pretty well. Not perfect. I don't know if there is a perfect way to do that, but I've got, as we all do, right? All kinds of lists, but I probably have about a dozen different spreadsheets. No, probably more like 20 different spreadsheets, to be honest with you. And the challenge I have with doing that is that I could have a card. Let me see if I can find one here. I could have a card that is, well, I'll just use this one here. This 83 Topps Ozzie Smith card, right? I'll have this card here, and this card is actually on right now, currently, two different lists. It's on my wife's Ozzie Smith list, but it's also on my Cardinals team set list, right? So both of those are separate lists, separate spreadsheets. So if I get one card and it goes on multiple spreadsheets, then I gotta go on one spreadsheet, check it off there, go on another spreadsheet, check it off there, right? Which it's not too challenging, but it's a hassle. And I can link the spreadsheets together. So I'm a little informed with Microsoft Excel to do that. But anywho, so I would spend a lot of time putting these spreadsheets together, conditional formatting. If you know Excel, you know that. And like I said, linking them all together, sorting them, and all those kind of things, right? So I spent a ton of time, really over the last couple of years, putting all those things together. So because I'm insane, I decided to switch from Excel to a Microsoft Access database, which I don't know a whole lot about. So I'm kind of learning as I go. I know enough to know what I want, and I know enough to know that it can be done. It's just difficult for me to figure out how to do it yet. A lot of it. So I'm working through that. So I got a nice little form. I can run reports. You can run queries in X and in Microsoft Access. But what this allows me to do is it allows me to put in a card one time, and then I have separate tabs, and I can check off all those lists that particular card belongs in. So, so that's what I'm working through now. So, why not? A nice winter project, I guess, right? And I'm not going to say I'm going to do all of my cards, but majority of the lists that I work out of on a regular basis. So, and maybe eventually, if I deem that it works out fine, I'll continue with it. So, I think the biggest challenge I want to have with is the ease of access. No pun, not access, but the ease of accessing Microsoft Access reports when I'm away from my computer. Because when I go to shows or card shops, I can open my phone up and flip through and on my OneDrive, pull up Excel, and bam, I can see it all. It's not in the greatest format on your phone, which is again part of the reason why I'm really trying to find a better solution. But I think all I got to do is just run reports out of Access before I leave, and then just open them up in PDF format on my phone when I am away. So at least that's the master plan. We'll see if it all comes to fruition. Who knows? So, but anyway, so I'm putting some Cardinals in my database, and we'll see how that goes. Now, I got to keep an eye on this camera. I'm sorry, this chip clamp, which in the recent past, it's just stopped on me after a certain amount of time. So I think I've been running 15 minutes now. So if you're still hanging out with me, appreciate that. But I think it only lets me do 30-minute videos at a time. So if I ramble on longer than that, then I will just merge them together. So Clipchamp is pretty easy to use, at least for me so far. So I really enjoy it. It's a lot better than my first few videos, my first good number of videos. I was using the the camera app in Microsoft, but then my son and his friend who do a lot of videos tuned me into Clipchamp. So I like it. I like the fact that I can take a couple of videos and merge them together and do all that kind of stuff. It's not so fancy, but it's enough for me right now. So who knows what I'll get into later on. But it works for me, and it's fairly simple. Again, as long as it's stable. This whole mirror thing has got me baffled, but oh well. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He says. So, um, so anyway, I'm cataloging these cards in my Microsoft Access database. I got a couple hundred in here now. Want a good number in there so I can start really figuring out if this is in fact going to work or not. And by the way, if you guys have better options for me, this doesn't make any sense. If you guys have better options for me on cataloging cards and what you use, and use something that you love, I'm open. I'm still trying to kind of figure out what the right thing is. I don't know if there is a right thing, to be honest with you. But we'll see. Who knows? I may end up going back to Microsoft Excel and just using that. But for now, we'll do this, and at the very least, it keeps me off of eBay and saves me some money. So there is that. So one of the things I was going to ask you guys is set collecting. A lot of us collect or build sets. How do you build your sets? I tend, as again, maybe it's insanity again, but I tend to build my sets just a few cards at a time. Um, Instead of going out and sitting down at a table at a show, for example, at the box of 1968 tops, which is one of the sets I'm putting together. I tend to just grab like 3 or 4 and then walk away. And maybe the next time, or maybe the next month or 2 months later, I will get another 3 or 4, rather than again getting a whole bunch at one time. So I don't know why I do that. I just do. Maybe because I only have so much money. I don't want to buy other things. I don't want to just focus on on one thing, which is probably the biggest part of it. To be honest with you, is like it's hard for me to focus on one thing at a time. So my mind bounces back and forth. So, so if I focus too much on one time, if I sit down at a table and pull out 25 1968 tops cards, then I can't go buy anything else. So anyway, so I pick out like one card at a time, and in fact the 5 cards that I got to finish off my 1961 golden press set at the last show it was rare that I would buy that many cards for one set, but I did. So and I was super excited to get that thing done when I saw that stack there that Tom had, and I said I'm going to wrap it up right now as long as he got them all. And of course he asked me, "What do you need?" I said, I need 5 cards. And he goes, the Babe Ruth? Nope, I got that one already. So yeah, so it was cool to finish that one off. Now I can put all the focus from a set perspective on my 1953 Red Band. So 2 of those cards down, 53 to go. I think it's 55 cards in that set. So that'll take me a little while to get that one done. Simply, well, because of the aforementioned method in which I buy cards for sets one at a time, and the cost of those cards. So I'm sure those cards are going to cost me 15-20 bucks on the lower tiered pricing for those cards, for a lot of those cards, I should say. I can get really nice ones for 10 or 15, I think, especially without the tab. But I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go and try to get the tab as much as possible. So we'll see. We'll see how that all pans out. But I think that's my plan for now, is to try to get the tab as much as possible. And yeah. Anyway, let's see here. I'm going to show you these cards while I'm doing it. This is I think you've seen this in 91 Mariano Duncan Desert Storm card. This is significant because it's got Ozzie Smith. So this is like I said, my Cardinals cards that I am putting to get. My Cardinals cards I'm cataloging. Woo, cataloging. So, all right, is everybody ready for Christmas? Everybody got their Christmas shopping done? So my youngest son, is in the baseball card. So he and I were just talking on the phone before I hopped on here about card shows. He goes to card shows with me and my wife, so he has a good time there. He looks a little bit different than I do. Not so much. Well, I can't even say that really. That's close enough. He's not so focused on Cardinals, but he does have Cardinals. But he likes vintage for sure, and some modern stuff. It's hard to type and talk at the same time. That it is. So, oh, you liar. So this Microsoft Access database, it's really frustrating. I'm going to be honest with you, just because I don't know it as well as I do Excel, but I'm fearful that it's going to blow up on me, which is a problem I had with the spreadsheets. To be honest with you, I just got. I used to work out of the cloud, right? So my Microsoft apps were all in the cloud; they weren't local. That has changed, but since then. But remember opening up. I did a little short video, a little short on this one time, and how I went to open up my spreadsheets, and they weren't gone, but they were corrupted, or at least that's how they were presented, right? They were corrupted, and I about freaked out because I, again, I had put a ton of work into putting those together, and for me to open all of them up and all of them be corrupted, one, it didn't make sense, but so who knows? If you know anything about how Microsoft operates, they'll push out updates as part of their test plan. So, but anyway, Fortunately, that didn't cause any problems. It was whatever. The next day it was fixed. So I don't know what the deal was, but it all worked out. So all right. So there we go. That's what I got, guys. I'm gonna turn you off now. So appreciate you hanging out with me, listening to my rambling. Everyone have a beautiful rest of the weekend and talk to you soon. Peace out.